Of course, we just had the proclamation by the president today as it affects the faith communities and their ability to open up. So if I can get a comment from you.
In response to the question about my thoughts on President Trump's actions today, I actually haven't heard or seen what he actually said, but my response would be Inslee can't close churches and President Trump can't open churches. That's a right granted to us as Americans by God, and thankfully our Constitution recognizes that. And so I'm grateful for what sounds like the opportunity for, as a community of faith leaders, to work with our local leaders, EMS community, law enforcement community, elected officials, the medical community, to say what would be best for our people. And because we care about our community, we care about the vulnerable, we care about the at-risk community, and we don't want to do anything that would put them at risk. And so I'm grateful for what sounds like the freedom that's been restored to gather. And now I think it's in the hands of the faith leaders to take that as a responsibility, to go, okay, now how do we implement this freedom in a responsible way that is safe for our community? And that's where these networks and coalitions come in, where we can talk to our elected leaders and what do you think and how should we do this, and talk with our medical community so that we implement the freedoms that have been acknowledged today in a way that is safe and responsible for the people that we are called to love and to serve in this community. And my experience from what I've seen in the last few weeks, we have an exceptionally resilient community. We have an exceptionally intelligent community, and they're just waiting for the right to be given back to them to lead their community in a way that takes us out of the hole we've slid into and towards happiness, health, and flourishing. And we're going to do that because that's the kind of community that we have, and I'm grateful to be a part of the conversation and to be a part of the solution in whatever way we can.
I want to speak to your question about the rights of churches.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
There are decades of government intrusion on how churches worship. And there's not unusual questions, and it's not rare case law. And it's not a question that has a hard answer. The government has very, very limited ability to instruct people how they can peaceably assemble, whether that assembly is for worship or for any other purpose. There's countless cases of government saying, I don't like the way that church is doing something, and I think it's unhealthy, and I'm going to tell them they have to stop. And they can't do that. I fielded so many calls from different pastors in the last 3 weeks, and every one of them is in a different and unique situation with where their congregation is, the size of their congregation, the size of the facility they have, the age of the people they have there. And they've they'll open these conversations by telling me what precautions they've made and what they have put in place, and they're unique to the congregations they have. They're not fools. They know who their flock is, and they're ministering to them. And so a Baptist pastor with a 20-person congregation of people over the age of 65, he's not getting ready to reopen a small church and put everybody in the same room. Everybody's got a different situation with their own flock, and they know how to deal with that. And there's minimal role for government in telling anybody how they go about assembling, whether it's for worship or any other purpose. And you're going down a very, very dangerous road if you want to begin suggesting that the state government can tell you under what conditions you can gather with other people and what you can do when you get there. That's simply not a proper role for government.